All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to HCA 2025 Week 4. We've got Machine Soldiers going up against Vanguarda. And, we'll see how this goes. I don't know a ton about Machine Soldiers. I think I've seen them play like once. Vanguarda I've seen do pretty good a few times, so we'll see what happens here. And curtain's about to drop, so let's go ahead and see how this starts. I'm just going to take a moment to post this live. Good luck, have fun, everybody. There's the link. Link is posted. I didn't post the match, but whatever. Anyways, the match is starting, so here we go. Sorry about that. I should have done that before I got started, but I forgot until right now. There it is. Should see some trucks coming up. Do I have my highlighters turned on? I do. Okay. Okay, here comes the Americans. Here comes Machine Shoulders coming below us. You got Cameron on top of the truck as an AT. Where is Vanguarda? I would expect to see that. There comes their truck. He is trailing behind. I don't know if he got stuck on something somewhere, got a little lost, but Machine Soldiers is absolutely making the circle first. Here comes the truck from Vanguarda. Looks like everybody has jumped out. They know they're late. There goes the truck. Sounds like he got tagged up by the tank back here. Maybe the Greyhound. I definitely heard the shot. Artillery coming down on top of the Stewart right there as he's coming up the hill, though. Rockets coming across, hitting the buildings. There isn't anybody there yet, though. Vanguarda is lagging way behind on this start. More rockets going off into the building. Here they're just blasting away at these buildings, thinking that Vanguarda would already be there. Now here they are, making it to the barns. Viking goes down, up over there on the street. Cobra goes down. Here comes the Lukes. Machine Soldiers starting their way up the hill, though. They are already to the edge of the hill here. They can start making their way in here and take control of the south edge of the map. Vanguarda is slow making it to that point. Let's take a quick look at the map, see the next point. We got Salient and Ruin as the 4th point. So this is going to be bottom of the map fight going on here. Looks like E managed to get himself a couple of kills as they were trying to come up over the edge of the hill. We're going to call you Therapist. Not what it looks like it says. Get him, Therapist. You're the Therapist. Oh, man. Anyways. Big push coming over here, coming down the hill from right in the center here from Vanguarda. Just one guy from Machine Shoulder was there, and then he got taken out down here in the south by Scar. It does look like Machine Shoulders is starting to swing down and around in this direction. They've got most of the capture now for Siegfried Line. Now, the Germans should have kind of advantage on this point, since they're coming from down the hill. I know they got to go through the woods, can be a little bit congested to get to the point, but they don't have to cross the water. They're not subject to this choke point on the road here. And so I don't know what happened with Vanguarda's start, but they definitely dropped the ball a little bit, it seems. Now Luke's over here hiding behind this house, getting some kills. Shenlong runs into Jaywalk. Jaywalk gets him. And it looks like Machine Soldiers has control of most of Scar. Looks like some artillery coming down here in Siegfried Line, but there is the capture for Machine Shoulders. A very fast cap on the midpoint here. Very fast first cap on the midpoint. I do see some tank fire coming from across the draw behind me, from across the creek bed. Looks like Machine Shoulders trying to spread out and to form a line on the edge of the woods here. They're having a hard time. They're starting to catch a lot of hell from this artillery fire coming down in the circle. They do still have that Stewart there who's giving good cap pressure. This Luke's holding down the top of the hill here. And these Machine Soldiers infantry is having a hard time getting over the crest of the hill. Looks like that Greyhound is still back there on the other side. Or no, I see the Greyhound is coming down the hill. Is that the medium? I think that's the medium up over there. I suppose I could just look at the map. Yes, it is indeed the medium over there. Luke's is backing off. He's been smoked up. Here comes the infantry. Is going to try and push into the trenches. You got Mummus trying to swing around wide, get a rocket into this Lukes. So Lukes is already looking for him. He gets wiped out by the P4 from further behind. The Lukes already had his turret facing that way anyways. He's expecting guys to flank around him in that smoke, but the infantry is making it into the barns. Handful of Vanguarda guys up in the woods now turning to face that way. They're aware of the danger. Do not want to lose that position. That is one of their best attack routes. Getting in here, making their way. If they can control this and even get down behind Siegfried and Lied, they can take it back. It's difficult to get down that hill as there's going to be guys in the woods there waiting for them. Here's a pretty big looking push coming down from Vanguarda up here by Scar, trying to sweep through. Looks like they're trying to slip through this little draw right here. There is a handful of infantry there for machine soldiers. You got 404 right there. Handful of guys back here at Scar as well. Looks like somebody just got shot in the face from that machine gunner back here. Shenlong up on top of the hill, lighting him up. Magua taking some shots. Tetra Pak coming around. These guys are all squad leaders, by the way. So machine shoulders should be in a good position to swing some infantry down here if they need to. And that's a pretty large push from Vanguarda, trying to slip through that draw. Trying to get down and around on the south, or north flank. Sorry, looking the wrong way. The north flank. If they can get down into this draw, get up close, and then start pushing up to the hill or getting into these trenches, they can get some, might be able to get some cap pressure going, but it's a long ways. That's a long ways to try and go. I think their best bet is to either pressure in from the top of the hill down here coming through the woods, or to try and swing around the south edge of the map here, and both of these are being well protected by machine soldiers. These tanks still holding the line back here for Vanguarda. Dicey right in front of that Luke's. I think he's trying to get a satchel on. Is this the satchel build? Somebody just popped his... Oh, the Luke's found him, though. Here comes the infantry from Vanguarda supporting a push back into the barns. Some more infantry coming in for machine soldiers, all squad leaders. Should have OPs either here or on the backside of the hill. There's one OP right there. Just got some spot in. There's a couple of guys trying to swing wide around on the south side of the map. They need to get rid of this Luke's. The P4 is also a problem, but the Luke's is the one who's shredding up this infantry the worst right now, I think. A number of guys has pushed up to the edge of the hill, but Vanguarda's trying to push back in here and clear it out. Over here in the center, artillery coming down, clearing out some of the machine soldier infantry, but they're starting to push up the hill. Keeping the pressure on here in the center. You can see they got a Greyhound swinging around wide, a two-man Greyhound. Getting themselves a kill. There goes Gat and Ho. There goes an OP. Getting a little bit of damage done with this Greyhound. Here comes the Tiger right in his face. This guy's going to take some fancy flying to get out of this one. No, he's stuck on the tree. He was clear. Back up, back up, back up, back up. No. I thought he was going to get away with it. If he wouldn't have got stuck on that tree, he could have just swung out and around and shot up into the woods and got away, but he got stuck. Anyways, back over here on the south side, the Luke's and the P4 still holding strong, so the Tiger should be able to go the other way, which he is. Now, where are the tanks? There's still the medium up on the other side of the draw. There's a Stewart down in by the creek bed. I don't see any heavies coming out yet. Yeah, don't see any heavies. Yeah, don't see any heavies coming out yet. Sometimes I have a tendency to miss them on the map, but I don't see them. It does look like machine soldiers has managed to slip up into the woods here. They got some guys coming up from behind, though, coming straight up the road. Out in the open. Comes GT and question mark, the Riddler. These guys right on top of each other in these trenches over here. Ross goes down to Rizzler. King Damadou got himself a kill right there. There's another spot in for Machine Soldier. They got an OP up there on that hilltop in that trench line. Hawaii is spotting these reinforcements coming in on the backside. Can Sphinx keep this OP alive long enough to keep some reinforcements coming in? The Riddler goes down. I hear a bombing run coming in. That looks to be a Vanguarda bombing run because Machine Shoulders had in fact made their way into the barns yet again. They did lose a number of guys from that bombing run, but they still have a lot of guys up here on top of the hill. Seems like they're still forcing the tanks to have to back off. It looks like the Lukes got destroyed. These guys are right on top of each other. This bottom of the map, this very south edge of the map, is incredibly contested. This is one of the hot points. It kind of pushes right into the next point too, which you need to control this house, but you can't push much past it. So for Machine Soldiers, they kind of need their lines to go like this, because this valley right here, I mean, you can see it. It's wide open. You can see the whole thing from up on top of the hill right there. So you can't really push into that. You might push a couple guys into there, but you still have to control these houses, or else Vanguarda will be able to use the cover of that radio tower to push infantry down through this valley and hit these houses. Swing down and around the south side of Siegfried Line. Is that just a starting truck? Starting truck. That was kind of a messy explanation, but I'm pretty sure most of you understand what I just tried to say. And Machine Soldiers has a lot of guys down here. This is where the fight is heaviest. P4 still holding the line, still blasting away at these buildings too. Vanguarda pushing their infantry back in. Further to the north, there's a little bit of a split in the line here. Dr. Fritz trying to hold out by himself around this trench, but Machine Soldiers starting to slip through. Down over here, it does look like they managed to clear that OP up, but Machine Soldiers still trying to push up. Here comes the Stewart, getting aggressive. I think he wants to get himself a 76. There goes his engine. He tried to run over Lucius. He gets taken out by the Riddler. I don't know what your name is really supposed to be, so congratulations, you're the Riddler now. With your upside down question marks. Obi-Wan Kebabber. Now, Vanguarda has slipped down into Scar. They do have control of Scar. There is a handful of machine soldiers trying to push in there and clear them out. You got Tetra Pak coming down from the north. They must have a garrison up there. They do indeed have a garrison up there. So I don't think Vanguard is going to be able to get too much going on here at Scar as long as Machine Soldier keeps reacting to it. They're already pushing back this way. Whatever spawn they have here must be lit up. Rizzler goes down to Napalm. I think they are actually pushing back towards this patch of woods to clear out Machine Soldiers. There's a handful of guys making their way south, so maybe start getting some pressure onto Siegfried, but Machine Soldier has a number of guys who are reacting to that, keeping some pressure on them, so I don't think they'll be able to get too much in there, but we'll see. We'll come back to it. Back down here in the south, the P4 has backed off up the hill. Here comes the Tiger. This is definitely in danger of being taken over by Machine Soldier. Gruben goes down to the tank. They've actually lost all their infantry down here on the south side. There went something. Looked like some friendly kills there. Is their tanks pulling up? Let's take a quick look. The medium is still up on top of the hill over there by, what the fuck is that point's name? I can't think. Starts with an R, right? Brain's not working. Something just went up right there. Can't quite see what it is. AT gun. AT gun. Some more spawn-ins for Machine Soldier down there on the south. Keeping control of it. Vanguard was not able to push into that gap fast enough. The tanks are still hanging back. They're a little nervous. They've taken a lot of pressure from this infantry. And, I mean, these woods fights can be a little dangerous for the tanks. I mean, if you're careful, you can slip right up to them. There's lots of little nooks and crannies in this forest where you can hide as you're making your way up to it. Spotter can't see everything. Back down here to the south, King Damadou has made his way up to the top of the hill. You got Skyline here as well. A couple of squad leaders. Flare goes up for Vanguarda. Sounds like Skyline taking some shots at these guys. It actually seems like the fight has spread way to the north. There's a supply truck going on up here. I think the driver's dead. Comes a bombing run too. This looks to be a machine soldier bombing run going across the backside of this hill, hitting the tanks, doing some damage to the tanks, may even force them to back off. It's really difficult for machine soldiers to get their tanks up over here because they have to come up over the crest of the hill and then they're just immediately exposed to the fire of the German tanks. Infantry slowly inching closer for machine soldiers. They're just one or two at a time slipping their infantry forward. Oh, nice tank hit right there. Cleared out a number of infantry as Vanguarda's own infantry is starting to push up. Looks like Neo got himself a couple of kills right there. Vanguarda, they're trying so hard to make forward progress that they're not looking carefully. These guys are right above Castaway. And I don't even think he dares to turn that direction. Look at him. You can just see him kind of looking around. He feels nervous to me. Like he knows he's the most forward infantryman. Momus is going to get him. Momus gets him. He had a brief window where he could have pushed up that hill into the trench. There's Kaiser. There's Kaiser, everybody. Kaiser's killing people with a pistol, everybody. There goes another one. There goes Echo. Oh, Kaiser got shot in the face. Looks like Machine Soldier was starting to push forward just a little bit there. They've only got Mummus back here now. Vanguard is starting to push up. They could really use some more support from their tanks. You know, that P4 or something could push forward. That P4 is getting a little outdated at this point in the fight anyways. Change it up for another Tiger. These tanks are really what's holding the line for Vanguarda right now. This fight has spread way down to the south. You can see the line looks like this, and there's really no crazy infiltration going on. Even if you head back over here, that infiltration from Vanguarda got cleaned up back by Scar. They're trying to break through the center of the line right here, but Machine Soldier's already pushing some infantry up into the gap. And these guys have spread the fight all the way, almost all the way to Hill 15. Magua gets GT. These guys they're so spread out that these are like the damn near individual firefights going on here. There's no major battle going on at the moment. It was so hot and heavy down there in the south for the first 20 minutes of the match, and now everybody's trying to spread out. They're trying to find the flanks. It's gonna get hot. I bet you it gets hot down here in the south again, though. Vanguard is trying to push forward and reclaim those sheds. Here goes the P4 swinging out down to the south. Push forward a little bit. He's trying to get some fire into that trench from the flank, from that southern flank. Mummus looking to get a rocket into the P4. I think he's afraid. It is kind of looking at him. He didn't have a good shot. Yeah, the P4 just repositioned to look back this way. Yeah, you better get out of there, Mummus. I think he's seen you. He turned his gun that way. He's waiting for you to peek again. Castaway pushing down towards the P4. Vanguarda needs to get some infantry up around that tank. I mean, he's still protected by, got the Tiger up on top of the hill over there, so he's actually fairly safe from satchels anyways. They could get him with some rockets maybe. Some of this infantry is trying to push up. Artillery coming down into the trench right here, so Vanguard is still trying to clear these guys out as much as possible before they can push their infantry forward, and Machine Soldiers' infantry is doing a phenomenal job of stopping them. They have virtually no tank support up here on the front of the line, up against 2 Tigers and a P4. There's Tetris has managed to slip through. They got a couple of guys trying to push up the next hill across this road. Push through the valley and up the next road. Vanguarda still controls the hilltop right there with the trench. There's 2 trenches here. And it looks like Vanguarda holds one and Machine Soldier holds the other one. I think Hawaii just got himself a kill there. Tetris just laying low over there. What's his angle? He's right below Ifarg. He's taking fire. Oh, I think he sees the garrison. Nice goes down. Skylight goes down. Here comes the medium. He blasts the garrison. The garrison goes down. What's this medium doing? Getting real aggressive now. Maybe trying to push up on the backside of these Tigers. Force them to have to turn around and deal with them. Is that an AT gun? Didn't even see it. AT gun right there. Tetris leading the way for this medium too, so keeping it clear of some infantry, able to call anything out to him. I wonder if he's going to get around behind this Tiger. If he can get directly behind it, get some rear shots into it, he might be able to destroy it. It's not very advisable to go up against a heavy with a medium, but you can do it. We're just going to watch this medium for a minute. I want to see what he does. Ifarg coming with a satchel. Oh, actually, I don't know if he's got the satchel. I'm going to guess he does since he's following the tank. Tiger's not reacting to it. Gets a hit into one of the Tigers. I think that Tiger is actually turning. Here comes his gun. Can he get the next shot off? He catches a rocket. Shoots a smoke into the Tiger's face. Not enough. He gets taken out by the other Tiger. It was a valiant effort. He's going to go get himself a 76 now. Oh! Oh! What just blew up over there? Oh, I think it was a repair station. I thought that Tiger went down after all, but no, it was a repair station went down over there. It's a nice distraction on them, though, and I think that P4 finally got cleared out as well, so I don't see him anymore. Yeah, the P4 is gone. The medium Sherman is gone. Some of this, the other Tiger is going to back off. He's going to have to back off and repair. Come on, lock onto him. Kaiser over here with the sniper rifle. Just waiting for his next victim. Come on, victim. Show your face. Here comes a bombing run. It's like a Vanguarda bombing run. We'll see where this goes across. They've got an airhead that just came down on underneath it. I don't think that airhead is going to survive. There's so many grenades just went off in that trench. There, didn't have a chance, man. Look at that. Still popping grenades in there. Zero chance that that airhead was going to survive. It's a good try, though. It was a good try. A little bit too aggressive, dropping the airhead at the point. You could have dropped that airhead, like, back here or something. Maybe took this garrison out of the process. I don't know. I mean, they've got cover all over the place, but very, very greedy to drop your airhead right in the point. Let's shoot up to the north and see what's going on up here. There is a line of machine soldiers that are starting to make their way up the hill now where that medium Sherman had slipped through. He caused enough of a ruckus. And look at this way up here by Hill 15. There's a ton of Vanguarda guys up here, so I really think that machine soldiers have caused enough problems up here to force Vanguarda to have to pull guys way up here. And they're right on top of Hurtgen over here. Any backup garrisons could potentially be discovered and destroyed by Wakanda here. He's got AT, so he's following this new Tiger who comes into play. It's marked already. They know it's there. That he just got himself an OP Zereka. Pisha. Who got him. But he got the OP. It's not really like a super valuable OP, but he got it. That's points, baby. Those things are worth like 50 points now. Back down here in the south, it looks like Vanguarda's pushing pretty hard in front of these tanks, but they're just not making a ton of progress. They do have Sardo up here, who's made it pretty far forward. There's Senti. He's right in front of you. Come on, get him. You can do it. And he gets shot in the face. I think Mummus got him. I'm judging. I probably would have missed every one of those shots, too. Every once in a while, I get some good quick shots going in, but usually I miss when they're in a ditch like that. I need them out in the open. Machine soldiers in complete control down here in the south. Now, with those tanks have backed off the way they are, machine soldiers is starting to push forward down here on the south side of the map, and they've definitely got some guys that are slipping through over there in the center. You can see on the map that their line is slowly starting to make their way forward. Somebody has slipped through over here by Scar. Let's take a look. It is just a lone infantryman. So, might draw a little bit of attention over there, but there's absolutely nothing that he can do. There is a couple of guys that are still here in the trench. I would not expect Machine Soldier to push past without clearing these trenches, so we'll see how long they can hold. Hellbro getting himself some kills here in the trench. He got them both, actually. He cleared that trench. Or these guys did anyway, so the trench is clear. Vanguard has been cleared out of there. Down here in the south, Machine Soldiers is really starting to push forward. This is one of the most difficult ways to attack Salient, but Vanguard doesn't have a lot of guys down here right now. I mean, it's not impossible to attack from this side. I've done it before. It can be difficult making your way through this low ground, but it can be done. Dicey taking some shots. There's Vecterios over there. You can kind of see him moving around. You can see him, Dicey. Somebody got shot back here. Mummus got shot. Vanguarda making their way forward. That Tiger's starting to suppress these guys. Trucks goes down to Dicey. I think that was a smoke popping just now. I thought it saw an OP pop, but oh, some grenade kills. Artillery wipes out almost everybody from Machine Soldiers who had made it this far forward. So Vanguard are well aware that they're being pushed down here in the south. Let's swing back up to the north. Vanguarda has reestablished their line along the crest of this hill. There is kind of a gap right here by this trench. Rizzler heading in that direction. We'll come back in a minute and see if he slips through. There is a lot of Vanguarda guys back here by farm, and there's also a Tiger as well. That Tiger that we saw pulling up into the fray has made his way over here to farm. And here comes this infiltration squad. Coming up on the backside should start causing some problems for Vanguarda from the rear. Don't know if I think maybe Sphinx is trying to clear out around the tank. Wellington jumps out, gets taken down by Sphinx. Here comes Obi-Wan pushing up, perhaps with a satchel. Is there anybody left in that tank? There is. It's a solo. And he jumped in the driver's seat and he's getting out of there. Sphinx goes down. Milton Reserve gets himself a couple of kills, clears out the tank, keeps it alive. They should be able to get that thing crewed back up. But the distraction has allowed Machine Soldiers to push a couple of guys up. That rocket actually did hit the Tiger, too. Things still really spread out up here in the north, back down here in the south. This is where a lot of the heaviest fighting has been. Not really surprising since, you know, you got straight line fight going on down here in the south. So machine soldiers try to take control of this trench that leads straight to the Tiger. Which means that Tiger's just sitting there shooting straight down that trench line. Artillery has prevented machine soldiers from being able to push up down here in the south as well. In fact, here comes Bellion. BRB on top, says the chat. Here comes Bellion. See if he can make something happen. We've seen Bellion do some shit. In fact, he's featured in my opening video. Ah! He got taken down. Dicey appeared out of nowhere. Scared the shit out of Bellion and me. He got us both. Here my stream stuff is doing what it's supposed to be doing. There we go. And this Tiger still holding the line back here for Vanguarda, but there is some infantry starting to get up close. It looks like Machine Soldier has... They're holding the line down here in the south, but they've shifted a good number of their infantry up here. They're trying to slip through and around and get an encirclement going on Salient. Let's back the camera up so that we can see this a little better. And there it is. You can see that Machine Soldier is stretching their line from here. They're circling all the way up here through the north. They've made it across this valley. They're pushing their way up the hill. They're trying to clear Vanguarda out of the crest of the hill so that they can complete this encirclement. And they've even got some guys coming in over here as Robert shoots a rocket off at something. He does end up going down. There's supplies coming down right on top of where he just died. So it looks like Vanguarda wants to get a backup garrison going on back there. They've been getting infiltrated for a long time back there. So don't really blame them for wanting to get a garrison up back there. Just to keep vision, if nothing else. Two Tigers over here on top of the hill preventing machine soldiers from being able to push up into this trench. And this other Tiger is still down here. Machine soldiers keeping their tanks extremely defensive. Like they're not even in Siegfried. They're keeping their tanks all the way back at Ruin and just shooting across the valley. I don't even know if they have anything to shoot at right now. They might be able to shoot all the way up here to this Tiger. A lot of trees in the way though. Vanguarda again having to extend their line further north to prevent machine soldiers from being able to swing out and around them, leaving them a little thin in the center. As Machine Soldier has a wave of infantry pushing up the hill, they immediately start taking casualties before they can make it all the way to the top. Grenades going off into their lines as they're still trying to push forward. Mika goes down to Skyline before he can make it all the way up. Skyline goes down from Please tell me your name is not Genitals. I gotta look. Where are you? Where are you, Genitals? Was he up here? Genetic. It's genetic. Okay. Yeah, I mean, some of these people's names, man, you don't know. Oh, I see people predicting 5-0s in the chat. Not looking that way so far. We're a good ways into the match now. 53.5 minutes left on the match, and Vanguarda is holding the line. They had a rough start. They didn't make it to Siegfried very fast. So Machine Soldier managed to capture the initial third center point, but one of the Tigers just went down. I don't know if he got satcheled. One of the Tigers did just go down, though, so that's going to be a huge problem for Vanguarda. They absolutely cannot afford to lose these tanks. These tanks have been about the only thing keeping Machine Soldier from just pushing right up and over down here in the south. Partisan up on top of the bunker, shooting long-range machine gun fire from the high ground. Machine soldiers still putting the pressure on, slowly marching their infantry forward. They're trying to break through here in the center. Got a couple of guys coming up the hill. Here comes Hawaii pushing into the trench. Immediately gets taken down by the infantry from Vanguarda who are holding that position. Here comes Danny and Hellbro pushing up. Danny coming around the backside. He's sprinted. He does manage to get both of them. Gets taken out before he can get to the OP. But Esperion gets taken down. Hellbro should be able to get this OP. King Damadou managed to spawn in. He's looking the other way. I don't think he sees that Hellbro is in the trench. There goes the OP. He's going to push down. He does manage to get Hellbro, but he loses his OP. He is the squad leader. Should be able to get that OP back up, but instead it looks like he's going to back off. He knows he's being pushed. Back off and set up his OP a little further back. Things are looking thin here in the center for Vanguarda. As Machine Soldier is starting to make it to the top of the hill, Smurf goes down to Skyline. Vanguarda manages to clear out the top of the hill before Machine Soldiers is able to take over. Here comes Obi-Wan pushing up, gets Laughing Fox, gets taken down by Gattenho. You got Ifarg here below me shooting away with a machine gun. Here comes the bombing run. That is a Machine Soldier's bombing run going across this Tiger. That Tiger was damaged. Does not look like it was enough to take him down. It will cause more damage though. And here comes one of the 76s is finally pushed up for Machine Soldiers. He's not quite in position to get a shot on that Tiger. Instead, he's shooting across, lighting up the bunker from across the way. He's got Tetris on the back as well as an engineer ready to repair him up. This Tiger is damaged. If he pushes up, he could take that Tiger out. Looks like Dicey's actually going to make an attempt at it over here. Here comes Castaway pushing up to into the flank of this infantry. Doesn't look like he's going to actually push up and over the hill. Ricochet goes off the Tiger over here coming down from Danny. Is there something back here or was that... I think that might have been the 76 shooting. This Tiger's got to be careful. He might back himself right up into the view of that 76. There is an AT gun. Okay, so there was an AT gun up here. This Tiger is going to back right into the vision of this 76. If he's not careful. He's down the hill. I don't think the 76 can see him. I think he's in some defilade below him. Vanguarda pushing their infantry. Vanguarda's infantry has actually made it pretty far forward over here, even with these tanks pulling up for Machine Shoulders. But here comes the other 76, and they're going to wipe these Tigers out of here in a second. Machine Soldiers having taken control of the trench now. Still making their way up the hill. They've almost taken control of the top of the hill up there in the north as well. They're still pushing farm. Haven't quite made it in there yet. But Machine Soldiers just slowly marching their troops forward. Here comes the 76 are pulled up. I heard a ricochet off the Tiger. Here comes the next shot. I think they have a shot on him. I don't know. He's kind of in the trees. Looks like this one on the right is backing up a little bit to try and get a shot. Now he should be able to see him. Here comes the shot. There's the hit. He is not dead yet. He stopped moving, though. He might have just lost his engine. Here comes the other 76 is pulling up, going to take the next shot. And down goes the Tiger to the 76s. This is a massive problem for Vanguarda having these 76s. Most of the progress that Machine Soldier has made up to this point has been done without any tank support. Now that they got these 76s pulled up, these tanks are going to start lighting up the bunkers up there on the high ground. Machine Soldiers actually now has the ability to push down into this low ground if they want to. They got these tanks covering it. Now here comes another Tiger for Vanguarda, but he's by himself. He's going up against two 76s, and neither of those 76s are wounded. Neither one is damaged. Now, there they are right there. See if he can get a shot from up here on top of the hill. They should have those tanks marked. They're kind of sitting in the open. I think he's going to take a shot here. I'm pretty sure that's what he's doing. I think he's trying to creep up so that he can just barely see him over the crest of the hill. No, he's backing off now. I don't think he wants to engage. I mean, I had already said he doesn't want to engage, but I think he just agreed with me. This other Tiger now backing off up over here as machine soldiers start to swing around on the north side, trying to get around the flank of farm. You got Robert all the way up over there at hill 15 as well as a machine gun covering that very, very wide flank. What is this down here in the ditch? Just a truck. Pretty big spawning for Vanguarda up here on this hilltop. They want to make sure that they can keep machine soldiers from being able to push in and take control of this trench line up here. If they can take control of this trench line up here in the north, they can start swinging out around. You know, I mean, this is like right here. This is where they're trying to get. And if they can get control of this trench line right here, they can start swinging out and around and getting into salient. And this is where you want to attack salient from. So this is a very important position for Vanguarda to hold on to. They cannot afford to lose this trench system up here or right over here. They do have some guys that have pushed back down into the valley down there on the south side. And here's the Tiger. Looks like he's engaging with one of the 76s. Not 100% sure if he's got a shot here. I don't think he's got a shot. I think the 76s have backed off behind the edge of the hill. Yeah, they've backed off behind the edge of the hill. And the other one is actually up on the hill. Where'd that Tiger? It's up here somewhere. There he is. He might be able to start getting a hit on this 76, and he's got Artie coming down on top of him too. Artie can't damage a tank, so if he catches a couple of wrong Artie rounds, and then the Tiger gets a hold of him, he could lose that 76. He's got to be careful. There goes the repair station that was sitting there. There is a garrison down here on the down here being protected by these barricades. Interesting. Interesting strategy to put the barricades up, protect the garrison. You wouldn't normally want to put a garrison down here, but with those barricades, it's actually it's kind of safe. Now, I do hear a bombing run coming in. That should... Something's going on back here. Something strange is going on back here. It's got to be an airhead. That's the only thing I can think, is that they dropped an airhead back here. Is that an airhead right there? Kind of looks like one. Could be a prop, but it kind of looks like an airhead. They're throwing grenades in there, so yeah. There, oh, and it got the spawn in! Flare goes up, but they did manage to get a spawn in. Now I'm going to guess that Kahuna's going to toss a grenade in there and take out that airhead. He does get Havoc in the back. Havoc! Havoc! I don't know if that's the right Havoc. Magua coming around the corner, gets Dr. Fritz. There goes the grenade. He does manage to get the airhead, but they did get a spawn in on it. They got a couple of squad leaders still nearby, too. They should just lay low. Kahuna goes down. He did get his OP up. Magua is nearby. Skyline pushing up the hill. Looks like he's going to try and get into the backside of the barns over there. Clear out some of the spawns over there. Magua goes down. This OP is still alive over here. Vanguarda with a little bit of flank pressure going on. Skyline making its way up into the circle. We might even see a little bit of cap pressure start back here. Senti goes down. Skyline has made his way into the trenches. I hear a tank battle going on. That other 76? Okay, he's still alive. Looks like one of the Tigers over here just went down. The other one is pretty wounded. Both 76s are still alive. And Vanguarda still slipping some infantry up in here. Machine soldiers starting to bring some guys back. We're just past the halfway mark. This is the type of distraction that Vanguarda needs if they want to get some pressure going on. Because machine soldiers have just been steadily pushing forward this whole time. Athens gets taken down by Sparrow in the back as he tried to come in from behind. One of the 76s just caught a round, and one of the 76s goes down to one of the Tigers, or I think actually the AT gun might have got him. Yeah. There's another AT gun right there. So it looks like Bellion and Airy got a hold of that 76 with their AT gun. The other 76 is catching some ricochet rounds from the Tiger. I think he's catching rounds from the Tiger all the way up by Farm. Yes, he is. The Tiger up by Farm is shooting at him, but there's a 76 pulling up on him right now. And there goes, I think it was actually a P4. Yeah, there goes the P4. And Machine Shoulders takes control of Farm. They're up on top of the hill. They should be able to start sweeping down through this trench line. Vanguarda still coming up from the south. They've got a handful of guys coming in from the rear, keeping this pressure on, but there's a number of Machine Soldiers infantry pushing this way. This is not going to be able to keep pressure on for too much longer. Look at that rocket hit that came from all the way up on top of the hill. Nice shot by Viking. That's not where the OP was. The OP was back here in this ditch. Magua goes down to Ross as he's trying to push up in here. Athens coming around the backside. Sees this garrison getting taken out. I think Senti got it. Very nice rocket from Senti. I was kind of glad we got to see that from first person. That was cool. And it does look like Machine Soldiers has managed to clean this up. Back over here in the main fight. It looks like most of the pressure is going on here in the center as a huge wave of Machine Soldiers infantry is pushing up the hill. King goes down. There is a tank nearby. The 76 still holding out in this trench with that P4 not shooting from across the way anymore. He's pretty safe. Looks like he did even repair up. There is a Tiger on top of the hill here hiding behind this stack of logs, so he cannot just push forward. He needs this infantry to come up here and clear these guys out. Grimlock goes down to Hesperian as that wave gets cleared out by Vanguarda. Back down here by Farm, it does look like the 76 had to back off a little bit as Vanguarda has pushed a number of infantry in here, including several ATs. Jaywalk down goes down to Devon. Sphinx gets him in return. Alex goes down to Miope. 76 is still alive. Here comes the Rizzler, gets shot down by Reese. And Machine Soldiers still not able to take control of this position, but they do look pretty good further north. Their line's still looking really strong, extending all the way to Hill 15, all the way back down to the very edge of the map. No infiltrations going on at the moment, and this is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful looking battle line. From both sides, just lined up and mowing each other down. Vanguarda still trying to come off that garrison down there. It does look like that garrison got destroyed by something. Here comes a bombing run. Pretty sure that's a Machine Soldier bombing run. Hit the tank, did some damage. Where'd that 76 go? Is he here? He is. He swung around and he's trying to push up the hill. He's going to try and get around and behind the Tiger. The Tiger is repositioning. He's trying to turn himself around. He knows that 76 is coming up the hill. Can he get himself turned around before the 76 makes it to the top of the hill? He does have decent infantry support. He is turned around. He's facing that way, but he's wounded from the bombing run. Oh, that 76 just took a hit from a different tank. He's catching rounds from other Tigers. He's backing off back down the hill. This Tiger absolutely could have killed him. This other Tiger pulling into the fray just in time to stop him from pushing up and over that hill. He's now backing his 76 off. He's going to need some good infantry support to keep that thing alive. He does have this other 76 down here by farm who is prepared to protect him. Does look like machine soldiers did finally be able to take full control of the farm. There is some infantry pushing back into here from Vanguarda, but there's already infantry in place from machine soldiers. Sphinx gets a kill right there. This other 76 being swarmed by infantry as they're trying to take him out. Genetic trying to protect him. Here comes Shenlong, gets taken out by Genetic before he can get that rocket off. Here comes the Tiger pulling forward. The Bolt out, trying to repair up his tank. Here comes the Tiger pushing up. Can the other 76 keep him protected? No, the other 76 is actually pulled forward. He's out of position. This Tiger is free to pull up and get some damage on. Satchel goes off right in front of him. Fortunately, he backed off in time, was not taken out by that Satchel. Here comes another Tiger pushing down toward, or pushing up towards the north to try and help this out. This is leaving the south looking very exposed. As all of Vanguarda's infantry is being cleared out, there's one more spawn in. I can immediately hear in shots. They both get taken out. They should be able to push up, take out that OP, and there is infantry in the circle for machine soldiers. There's a massive spawn in on that garrison on the backside, but Danny's already in the circle. This is the type of pressure that Vanguarda does not need. This is going to be a huge distraction. Danny already waiting. Partisan goes down. They're going to know there's infantry in the circle now. This is going to cause a little bit of panic. They're not going to realize it's only one guy. All they're going to know is that there's somebody in the circle. Shenlong goes down. Danny finally gets killed to the hip fire from Airy. Big distraction, though. Here comes Soledad coming in from the south side. Gets taken down by Deeger. Actually, I think Spiro got him. Vanguarda trying to spread their infantry around on the high ground. Nice looking rocket coming in from Kemrod. Manages to get himself an infantry kill. And machine soldiers, they're here. They are here. They are making their way into the trenches. They're about to start pushing the bunker. Smurf goes down to King Damadou. Here comes the grenades coming in. Vanguarda pushing some infantry down around on the south, getting some flank shots into machine soldiers as they were trying to push up the hill. Soledad now slowing down. He does get taken out. Here comes the artillery for machine soldiers trying to clear out these reinforcements for Vanguarda. There's another spawn in down here on the south edge of the map. Machine soldiers still keeping the pressure up, but they've lost a number of their reinforcements. They don't have a lot coming in at the moment. It looks like they've actually shifted their attack up here towards the north. They're trying to clear these tanks out. Tetris right on top of the Tiger, trying to get the Satchel on. The Satchel is on. He wants to make sure that Satchel stays live. The Satchel is on the Tiger. That looks like it's going to be one of the Tigers. Tetris does finally go down. Sala is out of the tank, but he gets taken out before he could take the Satchel off. And there goes the Tiger to the Satchel. Without that Tiger in place, machine soldiers is now just pushing their infantry through. They've taken control of the entire crest of the hill, both of the trench lines. They've taken control of farm. They've got Lucius around on the backside. Looks like he's trying to get a Satchel on that 76. Not sure if he was, doesn't look like he was able to. And it seems like machine soldiers is holding that flank. They've got their flank just kind of curved back this way. A garrison back there. They've got some spawn-ins going on back there, keeping it protected. And here they are pressuring the circle yet again with another wave of infantry pushing in. They're making it into the trenches. They've got their artillery coming down on the backside of the point, taking out some of these reinforcements. Bellion gets himself a kill, but immediately gets taken down by Senti. Viking gets killed before he can get up and over the hill. Airy holding on inside that bunker, shooting down the trenches with his MG. Here comes Dicey and Speedy. They immediately get killed by Airy, who hears them coming. Speedy finally clears them out of that bunker. Now holding the position, shooting the infantry further back. Miope trying to hold up on the front side of the circle, trying to keep as many of these guys back as he can. He does take out Speedy, who gets into the trenches. There's more infantry coming up for machine soldiers, though, ready to take his place. Grimlock goes down to quadruple A. So does Mika as well. Vanguarda starting to clear out the trench. They're trying to take back the circle. They've swung their infantry down and around on the bottom side of the map. Starting to get some flank fire going on into this attack. Machine soldier could use some tank support up over here. They do have one of their heavies is back over here, cleared out some of this infantry that's pushed out from Vanguarda. Up here in the north, some of machine soldiers' infantry has started to push forward across the road, making a little bit of progress, ones and twos at a time. Here comes Alec pushing in by himself. Looks like he got himself an OP just now. Couple of infantry kills as well, and a nice play by Alex. Just running like Rambo through the woods. Here comes Bad Jow from behind. Should be able to get Alex in the back here. There's another spawn in right there as well. Alex didn't see it. He's taking some hip fire from the Riddler. The Riddler goes down to Danny. Alex is still alive. Aspirian goes down as well. All of Vanguard's reinforcements get taken out. Machine soldier pushes their infantry forward yet again. Back down here in the circle, machine soldiers still fighting their way up the hill. Slowly clawing their way in. Here comes the airhead on the backside of the hill with plenty of infantry support to keep it alive. I'm hearing a bombing run. It sounds like it's going to be a defensive bombing run from Vanguarda. I would expect it to go right across us right here in these trenches. Machine soldiers are going to have to push as many of their guys into the bunker as they can. I'm thinking Vanguarda is trying to slip an airhead back here again. This would be the third time they've used the bombing run to protect it. That bombing run right across, like right here. It's possible that the airhead was already cleaned up if there was one. That's my guess, is that it was an airhead. I don't know, but Machine Soldiers almost has this completely captured. They should have used that bombing run defensively. That bombing run could have gone right across where their airhead came down. I think they're actually going to lose this. They did still. I don't know if that garrison's still back over here. I don't see it. It was right back here on the backside of the hill. I don't see it. There is an OP down there in that crater. There's the garrison. There's the garrison still here. The artillery's coming down right on top of it. About 2/3 of the way capped here. There's a massive spawning from Vanguard on top of on top of the garrison. Immediately gets completely wiped by that. That was such a good arty hit that it's making me stutter all of my words. I wanted to get really airheaded. Oh man, so Vanguard is actually pushing up the hill. They're starting to clear some of this out. They've stalled up the capture. I don't know if that airhead is still alive. I did see something go off over here, so I think it got taken out. No. No, it's an OP. So yeah, the airhead got clean. No, it's still alive. It's right there. Machine soldiers, it's flickering. Another spawn in for Vanguarda. Manages to stall at the capture yet again. Artillery's coming down right on top of that airhead. Machine soldiers taking a lot of casualties. They almost had this. That massive spawn wave was just enough to keep it. Here comes the bombing run from machine soldiers. Going to go right across that garrison. This is going to clear out a lot of infantry. A very successful looking bombing run from machine soldiers. Pretty sure he got that garrison. That garrison was like right there, so I don't see it anymore. The garrison's gone. Here comes down the supplies for machine soldiers. Vectirios trying to hold out inside the bunker. He's in that little room looking out that window. See? artillery is about the only thing holding back this attack. Some more infantry coming in from over here. They do have a Tiger back here engaging with the 76 up on top of the hill. It does look like he got the better hit there. He's actually probably going to be able to get this 76 if he lands this next hit. He's pulling up. He's looking for it. He wants the shot. I don't think that 76 is going to be able to back off in time. The smoke might be able to save him. I don't think he can see it through the smoke. He takes a blind shot through the smoke. He does not get a hold of the 76. 76 has the entire crew jumped out trying to repair up as fast as they can. They're starting to capture salient again. Up here in the north, Machine Soldiers has taken control of everything in front of Hurtgen approach. If they can capture salient, and it's again looking like they're going to be able to, they're already going to be in a position to start pressuring approach. It does look like they did lose that 176. Supplies coming down for Vanguarda as they're trying to get their garrison back up, but they're taking a lot of casualties here at salient. Trying as hard as they can to clear Machine Soldiers out of here. Dual satchels go off on top of the bunker, clearing all of the infantry out of it. And it is still ticking towards Machine Soldiers. Again, about 2/3 of the way capped. They have pretty much complete control of the circle itself. They don't really have anybody inside of the bunker. They don't really need to either. I mean, that's just like one of those spots you can go to be protected from the artillery, but Mummus here gets himself some machine gun kills below us. You can't see through the log. This is what it looks like he sees. Oh, and he got shot. There's a wave of infantry is coming across from Vanguarda. They managed to stall up the capture as they're coming into the zone. Devons gets Neo before he gets taken down. Vanguarda pushing a couple of guys up into the circle, and they might even have their reinforce going on right now with a handful of guys in the circle stalling up this cap pressure. Here comes the Tiger pushing up. It is starting to swing towards Machine Soldiers yet again, but the Tiger's pushing up. If he can get that thing into the circle, it should be enough to stop this cap pressure pretty good, for at least for a minute or two. But there's a wave of infantry pushing in here for Machine Soldiers. They're getting taken out by the artillery. It is still ticking towards Machine Soldiers, getting stalled up by that 70 or that Tiger, who's trying to push up. He's not quite in the circle. He's getting close though. He's pushing up the hill right now. There's another spawn in. They did manage to get that garrison back up on the backside of the hill. You got Quadruple A there shooting some flank fire from the bunker, throwing grenades at the OP. Does not quite get the OP. Got the weapon glitch. Comes around the corner, he's trying to shoot some guys in the back. Gets himself some kills too. They don't really know he's there. He's getting some guys in the back. He's gonna run around the corner. He does not go for the OP. He goes into the other bunker, gets himself another kill. Quadruple A getting himself a ton of kills here. There goes Danny into the bunker, finally clears him out. Artillery coming down on top of these OPs. Does look like Vanguard is gonna hold. Driving their Tiger straight up into the circle now. Vanguarda just barely able to hold on to this. The Tiger now in the circle, so that's adding tons of cap weight. I'm sure they used up their reinforce already. Here comes some more reinforcements. Oh, he got that 76. He was able to shoot him through the little opening there. 76 goes down. I don't see. There is another one pulling up down here on the south side, though. So Machine Shoulder's still looking to keep this pressure up. There is still fighting going on up here in the north. You can actually, it actually looks like Vanguard has managed to clear out some of the woods up here. Let's just go take a quick look. There's not much here. It's just a handful of infantry in the woods. They're still trying to push forward and take back control of fire, but most of the fighting is happening down here on, it's just a massive hill fight going on here. This is beautiful. I'm absolutely loving this fight right now. These guys just, one side has one side of the hill, one side has the other side, and anytime somebody peeks their head up, they get killed. I'm not sure if this 76 has eyes on that garrison. Don't think he can quite see it over the hill. He'd have to pull up a little further. That garrison is just barely safe from this tank, but he's in a pretty decent position to help cover this south side. Machine soldiers might be able to start slipping some infantry down and around here on the south side. They're still pushing a number of guys up into the center as well. Here comes the Tiger is repositioning. He's trying to get some shots on that 76 down there on the south side. He has a hard time pulling out of the circle, though. He pulls that thing out of the circle, and they lose that cap weight, and they have been needing that cap weight of that Tiger. Artillery coming down on top of this garrison, starting to clear out this infantry. Vanguarda trying to push some guys up. You got trucks right there. Was almost able to make it to the 76, but he gets taken out by the arty before he can get close. The rest of the infantry gets mowed down by the machine gun from the 76. This Tiger not quite able to reposition himself properly to engage with this 76, and I would expect another one to be coming soon. Puma gets taken out by Danny with a well-placed rocket from the circle. The cap is starting to swing towards the machine soldier for a third time here. Here comes Mummus pushing down to the edge of the maps. Truck still trying to push up and get a satchel on the 76. Very difficult for the Vanguarda to push their infantry through down here on the south side. Therapist jumps up on top of the 76, immediately gets cut down by the infantry. Vanguarda has tons of guys just staring at that tank, hating it. They despise that 76 down there on the south side. Satchel goes off on the bunker, clearing the infantry out. Here comes two Tigers now pushing down the road. They're looking to tag team the 76, but the 76 is repositioning. He's going up the hill. Can he get that thing into the circle? He'd have to be on the other side of that trench. Yeah, he's just outside of the circle there, but he's actually repositioned in a way that he's perfectly safe from the Tigers. I don't know if they spotted that the Tigers were doing that. I think he's actually trying to sneak it up the hill. I don't know if you... I'm sure you can, but that's going to be difficult. He is. He's slipping it right up the rocks. He's going to put that 76 into the circle. He might actually be able to start slipping some flank shots into these Tigers. I think he's got eyes on one of those Tigers right there. He does indeed. He lands one hit on the Tiger. That Tiger's trying to back off. I don't think he realizes where he is. He's not sure where he's getting hit from. He's got Wellington trying to repair him up. I think that Tiger is now in defilade. But this 76 is in the circle. Here comes the other Tiger is backing up. Should have eyes on him now. Here comes the shot on the next Tiger. There's one hit. Does the Tiger back off? Looks like he's trying to back off. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it into defilade in time. There is not a shot. He is in defilade. But with this 76 in the circle, it's going to be really difficult for Vanguarda to hold on to this point this time. Machine soldiers starting to swing their infantry around the flanks of the bunker. Handful of guys trying to push through down here in the south. Is that garrison still up? It is indeed still up. Having a hard time clearing that garrison out. Is that a precision strike? Swing and a miss on the precision strike. They do manage to move the Tigers in time. And I think they've repositioned the Tigers in a way that they're trying to get shots off up over the hill. Ah, that hill's way too tall. They'll never be able to hit that 76 from here. Almost, but not quite. Tigers holding the line. So this is such a crazy fight that's happening right here. There goes the 76 is actually trying to pull forward some more. I think he's trying to get it down. Yeah, he's trying to get it down into the defilade. Vanguarda still pushing their infantry in. They've been making good progress. These Tigers have been doing a phenomenal job of supporting their infantry. I'm a little surprised I'm a little surprised there isn't more of a capture going on, though. It seems like Machine Soldiers has a lot more guys in the circle, including a 76. Oh no, he's not in the circle anymore. It's hard to tell sometimes with these maps. He's not actually in the circle. I do hear a bombing run coming in, though. That's the Machine Soldier bombing run is going to go across these Tigers again. There goes any repair stations that they had. Both the Tigers take some damage. Here comes the counter bombing run as well. Going across the backside. Does not look like it's going to get too many kills. Is going to do some damage to the 76, and it does look like Panico managed to get a satchel. He does indeed get the satchel on the 76. The bolt jumps out. There's Rapto. He's looking. He sees it. He sees the satchel. He's trying to take it down. Here comes Rapto. He's going to try and help him. The Tiger's trying to put some fire on it. They should have plenty of time to get that satchel back off. Here comes Soledad to help him as well. The satchel is off. The 76 is going to survive. The Tigers are also still in action, though. Vanguarda has managed to push some infantry back up into the bunker. Here comes Miope coming around the corner. Taking some fire from Senti. Senti does manage to get him. Just barely. Looked like he was about to run out of ammo. 76 is back in action. There goes the repair station to the Tiger. Doesn't look like he quite has a shot. He's got a shot on the other Tiger, who's trying to push up into the circle. He's still pushing forward. That's going to be a dead Tiger if he doesn't back off out of there. And there goes the Tiger of the 76. Nice shooting by Dark Thor. Just over 15 minutes left on this match, and Machine Soldiers is pushing super hard. We haven't even looked back here at Siegfried in ages, and wouldn't you know, there comes the airhead. Which means here comes the bombing run, and Vanguarda actually has a pretty decent sized attack coming down from the north as well. I don't hear the bombing run. You can see the shadow. They're already throwing grenades at it, I'm guessing. No, they don't even have to. There goes the airhead. It's going to get taken down. Pretty nice pushing coming down from the north. I don't think it's going to be enough. And it's actually going to strip their lines of some of its power that was holding back Machine Soldiers, who's now again cleared out the bunker. But there goes the 76. It does look like it got satcheled while I wasn't looking. Havoc goes down to some artillery. There's another spawn in for Vanguarda. They managed to stall up the capture yet again. They do have another... Is that a medium? Is he shooting smokes? Yeah, that's a medium. He's shooting smokes. Got another Tiger again trying to push up into the circle. There was a little bit of cap pressure flickering at Siegfried. Trucks has made the circle. He's a squad leader. Little bit of a cap race going on now. Again, there is a tank back here. And some more spawn-ins. It does look like MS should be able to hold on to this. They are capping. There's now 2 Tigers in the fray again with just a medium for Machine Soldiers. So I don't know if... I really don't think they'll be able to get this cap going. They are still capping, though. Some more cap pressure going back on it. Siegfried. Vanguarda taking some casualties back there immediately as they're trying to get this going on. Truck still up in the circle. I don't know where his OP is. My guess is close. He does get Tetra as he comes around the corner. Some more spawn-ins on the garrison. They never found the garrison. So there should be no reason why Machine Soldiers does not hold on to that. Some more troops coming down from the north from Machine Soldiers. Trying to get on these Tigers. Strafe and run coming through. More supplies coming down for Vanguarda, trying to get their garrison back up. They're still holding this pretty well, though. 13 minutes left on the clock. does look like Vanguarda managed to hold this pretty good. Most of Machine Soldier's troops have been cleared out. They came really close to capping that a few times, but Vanguarda, they came through and managed to hold. Comes another P4. Looks like he's about to run into Genetic, who likely has rockets. Oh, Genetic's taking some rounds. Repair station, repaired him up. Oh, he biffed. He biffed. He got greedy. He wanted to kill it before the repair station repaired it up. Now it's too late. It's all repaired up. You can damage it, but you can't kill it. Ah, shouldn't have got too impatient. And here he goes. I don't think that P4 is going to last too much longer, but it does look like Vanguarda has managed to clear out the circle. Let's shoot back over to Siegfried. It does also, at the same time, appear that Machine Soldiers managed to hold on to Siegfried. A little bit of pressure going on back here at Salient here. Have I been calling Salient Siegfried the whole time? I've just been calling it the bunker. It's a pretty decent looking push coming from Machine Shoulders. They're immediately getting blasted by the Tiger, who has now pushed up into the trench. Vanguarda getting real tired of this pressure going on at Salient down here. They have mostly cleaned up Machine Soldiers, and we're getting down here. There's about 11 minutes left on the match, so I would not be the least bit surprised to see Machine Soldiers just kind of turtle up onto Siegfried. They gave their best efforts into capturing the 4th point. They came really close a few times. Just wasn't quite enough. They're still keeping the pressure on. They're definitely getting some guys up here into the circle again. Cameron trying to get some rockets into this Tiger here. Doesn't want to shoot it in the side, though. Oh, he gets blasted by the artillery. You should just shot it, man. You know you're not going to live long when you're that close to a tank, when you're that close to the circle. Vanguarda actually pushing through, starting to clear this out. They're looking pretty good now. They're even slipping some guys through. They managed to break through up here at the farm. Most of it's getting cleared out. Vecterios gets himself a couple of kills back here. Got the weapons glitch, though. It's always the German side that has the weapons glitch. Slow the camera down, getting a little crazy. Hey, Magua manages to catch a hold of Nice up there in the bunker. He had just spawned in and his OP was lit up, so I'm pretty sure that's how he knew where he was. Vecterio's still over there in the woods, looking this way. There isn't really much going on over here, though. It's Vanguarda. They're struggling so hard to hold on to Salient that they just cannot get the pressure going on over at Siegfried. And there's just a pretty nice looking push coming in from Machine Soldiers again. Where are their tanks? I know they lost their tanks. They do have a couple of heavies coming up and over the hill back there. One of them catches a round from the Tigers. These Tigers are in position. Oh, going a little fast there. Trying to get a hold of this 76, who does manage to back off, back and around the hill. 8 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. We're really getting down here. If Vanguarda wants to win this one, they're going to have to find a way to get this pressure off of them. Machine Shoulders again starting to slip some infantry up in the circle. Grubin managed to make his way into the bunker. Don't bandage now. Too many footsteps, man. Not a good time for bandages. comes Dicey coming around trying to get himself some crew members looking to get a satchel. Satchel is on. The crew is out. He comes around the corner. He gets himself a crewman kill. Runs straight past. Gets taken down. But the satchel is on the Tiger. I don't see anybody making a push for the satchel. I don't think they really realize it's there. Yeah, I don't think they have enough time to take it off anymore. And there it goes. The Tiger goes down. They still have one more Tiger here to keep this point locked down, though. 7 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock. A little bit of cap pressure starting to go on here at Salient. Machine Shoulders, again, starting to try to push their guys up in. They've got the 76s back there by the barns, shooting across the distance. They're blasting away at the bunker, keeping this Tiger from being able to push forward. Getting some infantry kills as well. They could use a tank round right into this bunker here. Just to get nice out of there. Soledad gets taken out. Raisley makes his way up the hill. There's a spawn in. I hear the bombing run coming through. Is going to do some damage to the Tiger. Likely took out the garrison again. Here comes the airhead from Machine Soldiers. It's going to drop right in front of Bellion and Nice. Bellion might be able to get a... Nope, Bellion gets taken down by Gruben. He was looking at the airhead. That airhead is going to be live. Some more cap pressure going on here at Salient as Machine Soldiers are looking to get this 4th point here in the last 6 minutes. The Tiger is repositioning. He's got Dicey right on top of him trying to get a satchel on. Does look like Dicey got run over before he could get the satchel on. Artillery coming down on top of him as well. Vanguarda manages to stall up the capture. They're pushing guys up into the bunker. Starting to get some reinforcements spawning in off of that airhead. There's OPs all over the place. Artillery from Vanguarda doing work. Taking out as many of these infantrymen as they can on the backside of the hill. Another Tiger is here in the fray for Vanguarda. Machine Soldiers pushing the infantry up into the bunker. Victorious again shooting from that window inside the bunker. Supplies coming down from Vanguarda. Trying to keep these garrisons up. There's another massive spawn wave. Artillery wipes the entire wave out. Some more infantry trickling in from the back zone, but I don't think it's going to be enough, at least not at the moment. Here comes one of the tanks from Machine Soldiers pushing his way up the road, trying to get into the zone. These Tigers don't even dare push forward. Artillery coming down directly on top of that garrison. Almost halfway captured here with 4 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. Let's take a quick look at the map. It does look like Hurtgen approach is being covered by a light squad. If they can get this captured, they should be able to lock it up immediately. There is a number of Vanguarda troops up over there ready for it just in case it happens, but Vanguarda has managed to stall up this cap pressure. They have a number of guys who have made it back up into the bunker. These Tigers still on the backside of the hill, making it so that Machine Soldiers are not able to push all the way through. The tanks, again, from Machine Soldiers are starting to push up. They've got the one in the zone now. The other one is going to be in the zone in just a second. There is no longer enough time for the 5-0 as we get past the 4-minute point. But there is still enough time for Machine Soldiers to be able to take this point. There's also still enough time for Vanguarda to be able to take back the midpoint that they are struggling to hold on to Salient now. Machine Soldiers knows that if they can just keep this pressure up, Vanguard is not going to be able to do anything except for defend. Here comes the bombing run. That's going to be a Vanguarda bombing run. They're just trying to take the pressure off it. Trying to get this infantry out of here. Should be enough to stop this cap pressure as they're now able to push their infantry up into the circle. Here comes the 76s. Is that a precision strike? Didn't see where it went. Might have been going for a garrison again. I don't know. But machine soldiers still pushing some infantry in. Quadruple A has managed to slip through here. Has the weapon glitch though, so I can't do POV. He does end up getting taken down by Soldad. Couple of guys slipping in here for machine soldiers. Victorious goes down to Danny. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left on that clock. Danny throwing out some grenades. Should have heard Panda shooting, trying to get some shots off here. He's holding his position. He's going to come up over the corner. He should be able to spot Panda. He's actually going to run the other way. Here comes Quadruple A. Survives Danny, but gets taken out as he comes around the corner. Senti now pushing up. Dicey has managed to push his way all the way around. He has a satchel on the bunker. Gets taken out by artillery. Here comes the infantry pushing up. GT gets captured by a rocket from across the way. So far, it looks like Nice and Reese are going to be taken out by this satchel. Artillery coming down, getting himself a couple of kills. The time is up. This is definitely going to be a machine soldier's victory. These guys are just going to start pushing each other like crazy now, so let's just watch the fun. Let's watch the carnage. Nice over there trying to get a satchel on the 76. Gets taken out by a grenade. I don't think he got it. Magua with the flamethrower just lighting up top of the hill. Oh, man. What a fun match this was. For those of you who voted for the 5-0 in the chat, it was not a 5-0. Vanguarda did a phenomenal job holding their lines. They just couldn't quite get anything going on. They were on the back foot pretty much the whole time. They had no choice but to just hold their lines. They had a couple of infiltrations, but nothing was really able to take hold. Laughing Fox goes down. Some guys getting blasted by the 76s. 30 seconds left. Marty's still getting some kills. Just running out the timer now. Sorry, I'm a little checked out now after that. It was an intense match, so I'm a little tired. I got really excited for that one. There was a lot of shit happening. Take a look at some combat scores. Outside of the tank, we got a 1692 from Rizzler. That 1124 from Dicey. 1114 from Bleeker. Yeah, some nice ones. Over here on Vanguarda's side. 912 from Nice. Obviously not quite as high a combat scores. Still some pretty good ones. Oh man. Oh man. Whew. Well, that was a great match, but Machine Soldiers definitely had the upper hand on that one. The entire match. Vanguarda, I didn't see what happened, but something seemed to have stalled them up. They did not even come close to making the middle point first. And then once Machine Soldiers had it, they just start spreading their guys out and systematically marching their line forward. I mean, there was not a ton of infiltration from either sides. I saw a little bit, but for the most part, it just looked like two straight lines. And I loved every second of it. That was great. So thank you, everybody who watched. I'm going to go ahead and shut her down. And you all have a wonderful week. Take it easy.